What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if it's true that Kingdom Hearts 4 is releasing September 30th, 2023. That is what the GeForce Now leaks had said. Now, I guess to catch people up in case you don't know, and then we'll get right into Kingdom Hearts. Basically, this was a two-part leak. A couple months ago, there was kind of part one where just an avalanche of games were announced, and they even went on to clarify that, yeah, a lot of these games are true. They're real, but a lot of them also, well, technically not a lot, but some of them are also speculative titles that they don't know for sure. They just kind of put that on there. But a lot of the titles on this list, and there's many games, are pretty darn real. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 4 was one of them. Okay, and that was one that I immediately, you see Kingdom Hearts 4, and you don't just shy away from it. You stare at it for a couple minutes, right? Maybe even a couple hours. But that was, I'm pretty sure, it. Now, the part two of this leak was that release dates came out for some of these games. Now, I have said it before in other videos, but the release dates for them, I have less confidence in if the games are real or not. Whereas when again, part one, when the games were released and they were shown, I think the majority, like a good majority, are real. Okay, I do think there's some that are not real, or maybe some that have been canceled. In fact, actually, we know a couple that have been canceled even more recently. But I would say, I don't know a percentage, but let's say 90%, a good amount, are probably, pretty likely to happen. Kingdom Hearts was kind of on the fence because it's like you don't really know. You don't know with Nomura, you don't know anything. You know what I mean? And that's still the situation now. So I guess it is. Even the question of this video is really a two-parter. Number one, would Kingdom Hearts 4 release now September 30th, 2023? That's the date that now is attached to it. Before, I'm pretty sure it didn't have a date, but now it does, okay, because that was the part two of these leaks. So September 30th, 2023, I mean, it is a while away. Next year is a pretty big anniversary for Kingdom Hearts. It's possible. In fact, I think it's actually not even possible. Let me take that back. It's going to happen that we will get another Kingdom Hearts game or a new Kingdom Hearts game announced next year. But the split in the road, right, that kind of is debatable now whether the GeForce leaks are real is it Kingdom Hearts, and we've talked about this, right? Is it Kingdom Hearts 4 or is it something else? Is it Birth by Sleep 2, Dream Drop Distance 2, a Kairi spin-off game? Like and actually some of them could be the same thing, right? There could be a lot of different options for the next game in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, so we don't exactly know if 4 even is. So actually, that would go back to when you're looking at these games and you're saying, are all of them even real? And, you have some of them that are like code names. Actually, one of the ones that I always go to, right? Batman Arkham Insurgency is on this GeForce, leak. It's really Gotham Knights. That was, Arkham Insurgency was actually thought of and leaked and rumored for a long time, like years, to be what that game, was originally called. And, again, in this database, it's still listed as that, even though it's actually Gotham Knights. And it is the same game because it's got the same, developer. It's got the same studio. It's the only one from, WB Montreal. So it definitely is Gotham Knights, but it's under a different name. So Kingdom Hearts 4, but see, that's specific. It doesn't say, Dream Drop Distance 2 or just a brand new game or untitled Kingdom Hearts games. Some of them do have that untitled blank game. It goes off and says, 4. So maybe they have an inkling that the next game is a numbered entry. Maybe they have an inkling that, or maybe they have it confirmed. It's either they think they know or they do actually know. That's pretty much what it all boils down to. So, I guess it actually really is a two-parter where it's like, is it Kingdom Hearts 4 and would it release in 2023? I feel like the second part is probably true. Now, I don't know if September 30th. That seems to me to be a placeholder date, just my personal opinion. September, the last day of September, anytime I see the last day of any month, especially for like a database kind of leak like this, you may assume that it's, there's just a placeholder date. So I don't know if that would be the date, but I do think 2023 makes sense because, again, whether it's 4 or it's something else, I think it probably gets announced next year. It kind of has to, right? And then it would release the following year. I don't think you're going to announce it and then release it. I'd love that, personally, but I just don't think the resources are there, that they have enough time to do that. So I really do think they'll announce it and they'll say, okay, next game in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, it's phase 2 because they're doing the MCU thing, comes out next year. So that's what I would personally think. So I think the release year is right. I think the month could be ballparked, you know what I mean, where maybe it's like a September, October, November, like a late 2023 kind of thing. And then, you know, if it's 4 or if it's something else, that's what they have to figure out. Honestly, like, it could be. I guess the final thing I do want to say is I'm not saying like I'm so anti, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't want it. I think it's fine. I did not expect it to be 4. In fact, even right now, I would say I don't expect. It just seems weird. You had all of these games in between 2 and 3, right? So many. And you probably could have done 3 earlier, but they didn't. They chose to go down this path. And then it's like between 3 and 4, are you just gonna jump from 3 to 4? I mean, that's naturally what any studio would do, but for, you know, a studio like this or a team like this, it seems like you'd want a couple. I guess Melody of Memory was technically in between in a way, so maybe it's that, and maybe that's all they needed to do, and then they kind of jump into. And I guess the excuse for them that I would kind of throw out there that I have been thinking, and I have said actually before, we've said on the channel, you know, 3 sold better than any other. It sold faster, and I believe it sold more than any Kingdom Hearts game, you know, at launch or within the window of launch. So I feel like if you're Square Enix, you look at it and say, all right, look, we can mess around. We can let Nomura make 32 spin-off games in between the next, you know, 20 years, and then Kingdom Hearts 4, you know, releases in 2039. Or, you know, and they'll sell okay, maybe good. I think all the Kingdom Hearts games actually sell pretty darn solid. But the numbered ones, I think, sell better than pretty darn solid. I think they sell like amazing. So, you know, if you're the management, maybe you do a little nudge to him and say, hey, you know, I know you may be thinking, let's do realistic. You may be thinking of doing like 2 or 3 spin-off games, but we really think it would be best just to go to 4 because we're going to make a lot of money. There's really no need to do these in-between things. Maybe you believe it, but maybe we don't, and just go into it. So I think there is a world where like that conversation has happened, and that, you know, it's kind of a multiverse. But I think there is a universe where that discussion happened, where they're just going to kind of skip the in-between. But we'll see. I think next year is obviously going to be a huge year with the anniversary and with a new game announcement, whatever that game may be. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. If you want to follow me over on Twitter or subscribe to my second channel or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you all on the next video.